YouTube, what's going on? We are back. You can see the purple mat, which means it's time to do some card stuff. And I got something new. This goes along with the last Lorcana opening that we had. This time, some kind of drastically different. This is their newest product. This is called Gateway. Okay, now Gateway is learn to play. Now, as you guys know, we have played on the channel. I have played in person. I've done a little bit of playing now. I've played the game. Haven't made a deck and play, but I have played enough to say that I understand the game and I can play the game. So, but I saw this and I was like, this is interesting because this goes along with a Magic product I just opened, which was a starter kit. Gateway. Endless adventures await. I thought this was an interesting thing, so I wanted to buy it and see what it's like. Heavy box, heavy duty box. So, what do you get in this? So, in this, we get 2 starter decks, 30 cards each. Then you have 4 reward packs. I'm not sure what those are, but they're 18 cards each. 30 damage counters, 2 character movers, 2 character bases, 1 game board, 1 rule book, 1 guidebook, and 2 deck tip pamphlets. So it's a lot of stuff. You can already see team up, quest challenge, kind of giving you an idea of how you play and everything. So like I said, I wanted to see this. We're going to look at this. Is this a good gateway? Right, pun intended. Is this a good gateway for new players to learn the game? Or would it just be better to buy a starter kit? Let's see what we get, shall we? Like I said, this is a nice box, heavy duty box, like heavy duty box. So very intrigued to see what we have. So we got a giant rule book. Read this first. So before anything, you read this first. So let's see. Before the game, setting up the game. Sit opposite your opponent with the game board between you. Put the deck face down on the identical space in front of you. Put the character mover on the 0 space. Let me see, can I get this so you guys can see this a little bit? There we go. Put the character mover on the 0 space on the lore tracker. The mover represents you and your team of glimmers on your quest for 20 lore. Place all damage counters next to the board in a supply. Draw the top 7 cards of your deck. This is your starting hand. For the first game, make sure you have the 7 cards shown below. Decide who will go first by flipping a coin, rolling a die, or using another random method. So it looks like this is a very, very to the board, to the book, this is what you do. So the Stitch and Maleficent deck, and there's an Elsa and Mickey deck. So the Stitch and Maleficent deck, you have that starting hand. This one, you have this starting hand. Object of the game. Your goal is to be the first player to gain 20 lore. The most common way to gain lore is by playing characters and sending them on quests. The cards. Characters' actions. Your starting deck has 2 types of cards, actions and characters. Characters have numbers on the right side indicating their strength and willpower. Actions have that word action in the bar below them. You'll learn about other cards later. Character cards. You'll send character glimmers on quests for lore into challenges. Some have special abilities that help you in-game. Actions. Actions give you immediate one-time advantages and are then discarded. So parts of the cards. This is the thing I was going to say, just barely, that I was going to mention, was that it's interesting how they say that they have strength and will, but then they don't tell you what it is. So now here they tell you all the different things. As you read through the parts of a card, try finding each part on a different card in your hand. Even though you won't understand all parts and what they do yet, it will help you become even more familiar with the cards. Parts of the cards. So 1, 2, 3. So they got 10 parts of the card, they're saying. Alright, so the cost is the first one. Then the inkwell in icon. Solid. So cards with this swirl, or with the swirl around it, can be put in your inkwell to use as ink. I'm going to say how right now they should have included in that sentence right there, if there isn't that swirl around it, they cannot be put into the inkwell. That should have been written there. That's just a small thing. I'm just going to throw that out there, and they might talk about that on the next page. But I'm just going to say it right now. I think that should be added in there. 3 is the name of the card. In big print, characters will have a smaller print below, which is listing the version of the character it is. Nice way of wording it. So Olaf, this is an Olaf card, but this is Trusting Companion. This is not Olaf, blah, blah, blah. Ink type, so number 4, so there's the little symbol right there. This indicates what type you are. When you unlock new cards, you will get the cards that will match your deck's ink types. Okay. Classification. This is number 5. Characters sometimes referenced in card rules such as hero, ally, or princess. This is a storyborn ally. Abilities such as support, and so on and so on. Strength and willpower. So now we go over strength and willpower, lore value, and then story text. Okay. All right. So far, I'm okay with this. So far, we're rocking along with this. This is good. Playing the game. Starting with the first player, you'll take turns until a player reaches 20 lore and wins. On your turn, you do these steps. Ready, set, draw, ink, act. Okay. That's solid. So ready. Ready your exerted cards by turning them upright. Set. Know which cards you played last turn. This turn, they'll be able to act. Draw. Draw your card. Ink. You may add 1 card to your inkwell. See, they still they might talk about it over here, but they do. They talk about it on the next page. Okay. I still think they should have talked about it on the other page, but that's fine. Act. Do any of these things below any number of times. I like the way they word that, because it's just like, here, done. When you're done past the turn. What are ready and exerted? Ready, exerted. Okay. So far, I feel like this is solid. This is a good little, thing to get people started with reading. Your inkwell. This is the part that I want to read, because I feel like this should be... Your inkwell is where you put cards that you'll use as ink for the rest of the game. You'll exert your ink to play cards from your hand. You can put a card from your hand into your inkwell once per turn. You don't have to add a card every turn, but the more ink you have, the more cards you'll be able to play. There's no limit to the number of cards in your inkwell. Cards in your inkwell are always face down, and no one can look at them, even you, for the rest of the game. Nothing on the front matters, including its cost. It's simply ink. Every card in your inkwell represents 1. Interesting, this says no one can look at them, even you. That's kind of an interesting wording, because I feel like why does it matter if I look at what cards in my inkwell, right? Adding a card to your inkwell. To add a card to your inkwell, show it to your opponent and put it face down in your inkwell in the ready upright position. The card must have the inkwell swirl around its cost in the upper left-hand corner. If it doesn't, you can't put it in your inkwell. See, even just that wording on the other page would have been, I feel like, just as good as putting it on this page. Can't decide what to put on the inkwell for the first game. Choose a card with a higher cost. So there you go. Playing a card. Questing. Using abilities. I'm not going to read all the way through everything. I just wanted to read the main part. Challenging. Stays in play. Banish, because it's 3-3. Yep. Winning the game. First play of that. After the game, collect all the cards from the play area and discard. Shuffle them together to form your deck again. Then set up a new game and open up the guidebook. To make sure you have all the cards from your deck, look at the color behind the card names. The Stitch and Maleficent deck gets yellow and purple. The Elsa and Mickey gets red and blue. Official rules. And there's the index for how to play. Alright, so far, I will say this. The rules, this rule guide, I like it. Like I said, the only thing is that I do believe that this is just me. This is just me. I think that in this part here, they should have added that if it doesn't have the swirl, it can all be used for ink. It's a small thing, but it's a nice thing to know immediately, just based off of looking at the card. So I think that would have been a nice thing to add in parts of a card. Outside of that, though, this is solid. Guidebook. Now, this is where things are going to get interesting, I feel like. Your starting decks. To unlock the gate, you must complete all 4 goals. To unlock the gate. Alright. So let's see here. I would have said here. From now on, you will set up a game, open this guidebook to see your goals. Read over the goals together before you start. You'll play against each other, racing to 20 lore, but you'll also be working together to complete the goals to unlock the gates. Each gate goal focuses on the cards you have so far, giving you the opportunity to learn how to use new cards in exciting ways. If you complete a goal, check it off. It's possible to complete multiple goals in just one game, but some of the goals may take a little longer. You may want to count in the guidebook, or use damage counters to track the progress. Okay, so you have goals, which is interesting. Reminders. Your starting decks. To unlock Gate 1, complete these goals. Quest with 3 or more characters on the same turn. Challenge 3 or more opposing characters in a game. Quest and challenge on the same turn. Have a hero card and a character card in play at the same time. Alright, those are pretty, this is like almost like a challenge thing, right? Like, in most, video games, right, you have, your challenges that you do, right? Each week you get new challenges. That's kind of what this is. This is challenges, but in a game. Stop! You must check off all the goals above to complete. At the end of the game, if the goals are complete, check off the box, open reward pack 1. Look at the colors behind the card names and separate the cards into their decks. The Stitch Malevolence ones get this and this. Turn the page to open the next gate. Alright, so now, Gate 1, Songs. Okay, so you get some song cards. So sing your heart out. Play 2 or more. Stop, open up. These are new cards. The new cards are items and abilities. The right tool for the right job. Stop! Open again. Floodborn characters and shift. Shifting characters. Stop! Open reward pack 4. The Endless Adventure. And then it shows some of the starter decks, booster packs, and they're showing the first 3 sets. Okay. So of course we're not gonna play through and do the guide, right? We're not gonna do that. I do like the guidebook. This is it's an interesting thing, and I do like it because it allows the players to you can sit down, you play, and you have to do these things. Really, winning and losing doesn't matter here. If you think about it, winning and losing doesn't matter in this situation, which is always a cool thing. And I do think this is a good thing as well, because you can lose and complete all your goals. If you do that, you get your reward pack, right? So I do like this, because it takes away the whole win the game and focuses more on let's do some things. And like I said, these are simple things. Quest with 3 or more characters on the same turn. Challenge with 3 or more characters on the same turn. Quest and challenge the same turn. Have a hero and a villain on the field. Play 2 or more actions on the same turn. Remember, songs are actions. Sing 2 or more songs in a game by exerting characters. Use a song to lower an opponent's strength. Use a song to draw a card. Play 3 or more items in a game. Use an ability item whose cost includes exerting the item. Use an ability whose cost includes banishing. Use a support ability to boost a character's strength. Play 2 or more characters using their shift abilities. Gain 7 or more lore on the same turn. Have a hero, an ally, a villain, and a Floodborn all on the field at the same time. Both players sing a song by exerting a character using an item's ability and play a character using their shift ability in a game. This is awesome. Congratulations. You've completed the deck. There are now new types of rewards. The standard deck is 6. Yours has 66. So so you can take out up to 6. Yeah, so this is dope. So what this is, looking at it now, this is you get these 2 decks apparently. So we're getting 2 decks. We're getting Ruby, Sapphire, and we're getting Ruby, Sapphire, Amber, Amethyst. Right? Those are the decks. So so the guidebook's cool. The guidebook's basically just like a giant challenge book. It's a challenge book, and then it tells you, hey, you've unlocked items and abilities. This is what items and abilities are. This is how you use them. Do. Right? And also, I do like that, too. I just noticed that. Watch a video about your new cards. So you can actually, like, scan it and watch them. That's kind of cool. I really want to take a look at this real quick, so hold up a second. Let's see here. Let's see. How do I do this? How do I do this? Oh, cool. So here. So Lorcana, how to play.
You can fly, or even Hakuna Matata.
How to play Gateway Sing Songs.
Song cards are actions with a melodious twist, and there are 2 ways in which you can play songs. The first is to simply pay the cost of the card.
Yeah, this is cool.
In your inkwell.
Okay, that's dope. So not only do you have the written instructions, not only do you have the written instruction, or the written, like, this is how the card works, you also have a video that straight up shows you how to play. This is really cool. This is a really good product for... so far, I'm loving this. This is great for new players. So deck tips for this, deck tips for this. So let's just take a quick look, see what it says. More strength, break the rules, more lore, more options. So just kind of showing you these are the cards that you have. This is what they do. This is what you should be looking for. Try and do this. Here's your deck. Okay? Same thing here. So now let's see this one. Let's see. Less damage, cunning combinations, more lore, more strength. So kind of a little bit of the same wording. Just the only difference is like there's less of this and more of that, right? Like that sort of thing. So there's that. So now here's this. This is the next part. So we got all these damage counters. We got the 2 counters up, or the 2 player cards right there. And I'm assuming if I switch over, yes I do. So you switch over and there is Maleficent and Elsa. So you can pick which ones you want as your player card. Really cool. I'm loving this. I'm genuinely loving this. Okay, so now this is the play mat. So let me pull this back real quick so I won't be able to get this all out on the mat, but I'll be able to get enough of it on the mat so you guys can see at least. Oh wow. So so right down the middle is the lore. And then I'll do let's see here. Can I? No, but folds like, all right, so I can show bits and pieces of it. So here we go. Let's see. Let's try not to break everything. So on this side here, so it's cards in play, inkwell. On your turn, here's what you do. Do. And then the other side of it is literally your deck and discard. So you have this full side here, all to your. I mean, like, of course it's gonna be upside down, but like, look at that. So there it is, and it goes all the way across. And this is a big thing because this is covering up my entire desk. This is covering up my entire desk. So like, it's big enough to play against other people. I like it. And it's sturdy too. Oh, I like the back of it too. I mean, even the back of this is nice. Look at that. But like you can see right there. Look at that. That is a thick boy. Look at that. That is a thick boy. All right. So that's really cool. I like that because it gives you as well. It's not quote unquote a play mat, but it is quote unquote a play mat. So now let's see here. Is there anything in the middle section here? So this is just for you to put the cards in, or the card sliders there for each one of the characters, depending on which character you want to use. And then let's see here. So there's that there. There's that there. I don't think there's anything in here. Oh, there isn't. All right, so that's just a nice little container right there, actually. All right, so just throwing stuff around behind me. So here's these. So these are the different gates. Do not open yet. The pack is locked. Do not open until instructions are met. I'm going to tell you guys right now, we are going to open these. So here's the two decks, though. Boom, boom. Starting decks. Do not shuffle. Don't you do it. Don't you shuffle these. How dare you? I said not to shuffle them. I also said not to open the packs either, but, you know, we're kind of going against a lot of what they want us to do right now. Alright, so do not shuffle. Alright, so all the cards are there. That's kind of nice there. Alright, so let's take a look here and see what we get. So we have Anna, Mickey, Aurora, Iduna, which is from set 4, which is interesting because the promotional images at the back were all from set 1 through 3. So the fact that set 4 in this is kind of nice. Pascal, Donald, Webby Vanderquack, Donald, Olaf, Card Soldiers, Goof, Super Goof, Rare Super Goof, alright, Con, Fali, Iduna, Sisu, Webby Vanderquack, Minnie Mouse, Hans, Webby, Rapunzel, Rare, okay, Elsa, Pascal, Aurora, he's got a sword! The Rabbit, Elsa, Olaf, Anna, Mickey, and Minnie, and that's right back to the beginning. Alright, so right off rip, a lot of just very basic cards. A lot of basic cards, a lot of just what we're doing is, you know, when this card's banished, it goes to the inkwell. When this card is, when you play this character, look at the top 3 cards of your deck, put them back in any order. You know, a lot of just basic support. Rush, whenever this character challenges another character, gain 2 lore. Whenever you play this character, if a princess or queen is in play, you gain 1 lore. Some of these is tough because, like, there's not a whole lot of villains in some of these. Like, in this one right here, like, you gotta play a villain and a hero at the same time. I'm pretty sure the only villain in this one is... that's Storyborn Ally. Ally, Mother, Queen, Dragon, Deity, Hero. Yeah, Hans is the only villain in this one. So in order to do that quest, you have to just play Hans. Like, that's the only one you can play. So that's kind of wild. That literally the only one you can play in this one, in order to get the challenge done, is Hans. So, Do not shuffle. Winnie the Pooh on the back. Already love this one more than the other one. That's just because I love Winnie the Pooh. But let's get into this. So, Winnie the Pooh. Olaf. Piglet. Minnie Mouse. Stitch. Magica Dispel. Jafar. The Magical Maid, which always weirds me out. Piglet. Jafar. Daisy. Roly. Magica Dispel. The Wardrobe. Pluto. Maleficent. Jafar, a different version of him. Olaf. Our rare is Christopher Robin. Stitch. Jafar. Maleficent. Stitch. So we got two different versions of Stitch. I'm stuck. Merlin. Rabbit. Minnie. Stitch. Daisy. Winnie the Pooh. And a Mickey the Mouse. Alright, so already off rip, you can kind of see there is a little bit of a difference between the two of them. But yet again, this one has more villains. This one has more heroes and more villains. So this deck will be easier to do that challenge with. When you play this character, look at the top two cards of your deck, put one of them on the top of your deck, the other one on the bottom. All right, you got two of those. A support. When you play this character, you may remove up to 3 damage from one of your characters. When you play this character, you may draw a card. Challenger 3. Whenever you ready a character, if you have 2 or more characters in play, gain 2 lore. Challenger 3, draw a card. Chosen exerted character can't ready at the start of your next turn. Whenever you play this character, when he leaves, when you play this character and when he leaves, you may draw a card. So you're already starting to see the differences between the decks, right? The decks are what they are, but you're already starting to see a little bit of the differences there. So I do like the Amber Sapphire one already. But challenge-wise, though, like I said, there's a challenge that straight up says you have to have a hero and a villain on your playmat at the same time. This one has multiple of both. This one literally has one villain. So if you're going to be playing this one, that's going to be a very difficult challenge for you to do if you're not concentrated on it, right? Because you have to play Hogs. So As I said, we're not actually going to be playing through looking at these, so we are going to open these up, even though they say do not open until instructed. We're going to open these up. We have been instructed to do it now, so I'm excited to see exactly what we get in these, because I think that they're just going to be additional cards for each one of the things. So like turn 1 was blank, or like step 1 was blank, but let's see. So we got Piglet, Part of Your World, The Greatest Criminal Mind, Lost in the Woods, Hakuna Matata, Friends on the Other Side, Legend of the Sword and the Stone, Reflection. So that's for this deck over here. Then we have Ariel, Teeth and Ambitions, You Can Fly, Go the Distance, How Far I'll Go, Seldom Will They Seem, Let It Go. Okay, so now I want to do this. I want to take a look. I gotta get the book again. Sorry if you can't hear me and I went away. Alright, let's take a look here. So, Gate 1, quest for 3 or more characters on the same turn. We easily could have done that with the cards we had. Challenge 3 or more opposing characters. Easily done. Question challenge. Easily done. Have a hero and villain in play at the same time. Very difficult. Like I said, this deck had 1. So, we opened up pack 1. We did all the things. Boom. So now we are moving on to Gate 2. Play 2 or more actions or songs. Sing 2 or more songs. Use a song to lower an opposing character's strength, and use a song to draw a card. So, with those things being said, let's take a look again at what we have here to see if we can do that. So, Ariel, whenever you play a song, chosen character of yours gains evasive until end of turn. She has evasive. Deal 2 damage to chosen character of yours to deal 2 damage to chosen character of theirs. Okay. Chosen character gains evasive until end of next turn. Evasive until end of next turn. Ready chosen character of yours that can't quest for the rest of the turn, draw a card. So boom, there's your draw card. Haven't had anything yet to lower their attack though. Look at the top 2 cards of your deck, put 1 into your hand and the other into your inkwell face down and exert it. Chosen character gets -3 this turn. -3 this turn. Good, so there's 2 of those. Put chosen character into their player's inkwell face down. Alright, so you can do all the stuff you need to. The only thing I was wondering though is draw a card There's only one card that says draw a card, and one of the things you have to do is use a song to draw a card. So unless you have a card that says that you can do that, yet again, going to be tough over here. So now let's take a look here. So Piglet. While you have 2 or more other characters in play, this character gains a +2 lore. Return a character card from your discard to your hand. Banish chosen character with a strength of 5 or more. All opposing characters get -2 strength. Remove up to 3 counters from each of your characters. Draw 2 cards. Draw 2 cards. Chosen character gains Challenger 3. Look at the top 3 cards of your deck, put them back in any order. So this side, it's kind of the opposite, because this side has the 2 cards here for drawing cards. However, they only have 1 card that gets minus strength for everything across the board. So, a little bit of 2 different strategies there. Interesting. I like it. So far, though, it's interesting because both sides are feels like they're struggling. So like you can play a song, characters can't to unlock these, use that. Check off the box to the right. You must check off all the goals above. So I wonder if that's as a team, like as you and your opponent. At the end of the game, if all goals are complete, you must check off all the goals. To unlock these, either player or both players together can complete each goal. So if you do both players together, you're fine. However, if you're just doing yourself, if you're doing each person, it's going to be a lot more difficult. So, we're unlocking Gate 2. We did all the sing-songs. We sang all the songs. We did all the things. Now, we are going to be getting into items and abilities, it looks like. Items and abilities. We got Mickey Mouse to start with. Support. When you play this character, chosen character gains support. Record player. Whenever you play a song, chosen character gets -2. Your character's name Stitch count as having 1+ songs to cast. Remove up to 1 damage from chosen creature by tapping it. Tap it to remove 1 less from the next character you play this turn. Magica Dispel. Return chosen item with a cost equal to or less than this character's strength to its player's hand. Rose Lantern. Move a counter from one person to another. Banish this item. Chosen character gets +1 strength until the end of the turn for each card in your hand. Ursula's Cauldron. Look at the top 2 cards of your deck. Put one of them on top of your deck and the others at the bottom. Alright, so that is this side. Bell. Whenever this character quests, you may pay 1. Unless for next item you play this turn. Chosen character gains support this turn. Chosen character gains support for tapping it. Whenever you play a character, they gain resist 1 at the start of your turn. That just happens whenever you play a character. Tap it, chosen character gets -1 strength. Tap it and pay 2, chosen character gains +2 strength. Whenever they challenge another character this turn, you may draw a card. Banish this item, chosen character gains rush and 2 strength. Tap, ready chosen character, they cannot quest for the rest of the turn. And during your turn, whenever one or more of your characters is banished and then challenged, you may draw a card. Alright, so we have to play 3 items in a game. Done. That should be easy for either side. There was plenty of items. Use an item with an ability that says exert in it. So let's see here. So no exert. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So 5 on this side. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 on this side. So that's solid. Use an ability whose item says include banishing it. Yep. Use support ability to boost the character's strength. That should be fine because both decks have support characters. So right now, that was actually a pretty solid gate for both of them. I like that. Boom, boom. Both decks doing solid with Gate 2. On to Gate 3. What do we have in Gate 3? Gate 3 brings us to Floodborn characters and the Shift ability. So we're looking for player 2 more characters using their Shift ability in the game. Game 7 or more on the same turn. Have a hero, a character, an ally, a villain, and a Floodborn all on the same. Both players sing a song by exerting, use an item's ability, and play a character using Shift. So let's see what sort of Shift targets we have. So we got Pluto, straight off rip. Okay, so Pluto for Shift 5. Stitch, Shift 4. That's Rockstar Stitch, I like it. Nani, Bodyguard. Nani. A Pluto, so you can shift onto them. We got 2 of those. That's nice. Madam Mim. Alright, Madam Mim. And then 2 Madam Mim shifts. Alright. Okay. I like this gate so far. Aurora. Jasmine. Aurora. Olaf with the shift instead of it being a shift of paying, it's a shift of discarding an item. Jasmine, Mini Shift, and 2 Tigers. Okay. There are some minis in there, so that's fine. I do like this. They put the shift targets right there. They're in there. It should be easy enough to go for boom, boom, boom. Now the interesting thing is this: is that at the end of this, you check this off and then you add this to it, and that was the final gate. There is no more gates. So this technically are just like bonus cards, right? These are like bonus cards right here. So what bonus cards are they going to give us? Bernard, Cogsworth, Mr. Snoops, Minnie Mouse Bodyguard, Cobra Bubbles, Mama Odie, Madam Mim. Alright. Anna, Maleficent, this is solid Maleficent, Triton, Chief Tao, Gaston, Stitch, solid Stitch, Nessus, and Dragonfire. Okay. Alright, so interesting. So this is my thing. I realize this is a long video. I wanted to go over as much of this as I possibly can, and hopefully it all made sense what I was going over and saying. With that being said, what do I think of this? I actually really like this. I think this is a solid. I think this is actually a really good product. For this being a brand new product, I really like this. Now, this funny thing is that this set has been out now for almost a full year, and now we're getting kind of the starter kit, right? Like the starter kit. However, though, I do like it because it does allow for, it has allowed for the game to basically survive up until this point, see how the game is doing, and then make this. So I do like that. There is a couple things that not a massive fan of, and I'm like, it's one of those things. Like, I'm saying a massive fan. Overall, though, like I said, I genuinely really like this. I genuinely really like this. The things I'm not a massive fan of are very small things. Just some of the wording, I feel like they could have done a better job with, but that's fine. That's just a me thing. That's just a me thing at the end of the day. Locations. I know that might be a weird one. There's no locations in this. We have set 2, 3, 4, and now set 5. Locations have been in every set since they've come out. The fact that locations aren't in this is an interesting thing, because I feel like that will confuse newer players. I feel like that could confuse them if they haven't seen them. So I wish that they would have included locations. Each deck seems solid. Like, I'm gonna be genuinely intrigued to play against a friend with these decks fully made out now. Like, I'm gonna leave them fully at 66 cards. I'm not taking out 6. I'll leave them at 66. We'll just shuffle up and play, and we'll see how they play. There's some strong cards in each one that I might take out as well and just use in general. However, though, I do like this for it being a starter, a get into the game thing. I think this is a good product. I like this. It sets up everything. It's an easy to understand thing. It makes it fun by taking away the element of winning and losing and turning it into a challenge thing where either it's both players, or it's either both players together, or it's just one player by themselves trying to get all the challenges done. So I think that's a nice added element to this that you don't see from a lot of games. Lorcana's done a good job with changing up stuff, where like with this, where like there's a whole challenge book basically of like, this is how you can unlock more and better cards, is if you do these challenges, right? There's that. There's the aspect of the co-op game that we have in the Lumineers Quest, right? Overall, I am highly on board with this. I think this is a great product for friends. If you have friends who are looking to get into the game, I would suggest this over starter decks, to be honest. And I know a lot of people say, "Well, don't buy starter decks, just buy individual cards and build a deck." No, I don't agree with that. I think this is a solid starting point. It gives you plenty of cards to start with, and also if you have both these decks, there's only 2 colors left: Emerald and Steel. That's it. You don't have. Other than that, you've played with 4 of the 6 colors. So it gives you a good starting point. You can see what colors you like, what colors you don't like. You can try Emerald and Green, Emerald and Steel in other decks or in other cards. Go from there. And I think this is a solid starting point for new players. I would take this over starter decks any day. I would say if you're a new player, buy this over a starter deck any day. Buy this, then buy a starter deck. And then once you start figuring out what you kind of like to play and how you like to play, then start looking at buying singles or buying packs or going from there. That is my opinion. Hopefully you guys agree. If you don't, let me know what I got wrong or what you guys think of this. Is this something that you guys would give to your friends or give to people that are new to the game? Let me know down in the comments down below, right? Thank you for stopping by and watching this. I appreciate it. And as always, depending where you are, morning, afternoon, even night. Stay out of trouble, stay safe, and we'll talk to y'all later. Bye. We actually got some like pretty solid cards in this as well. Like there's some good. Oh, well, that's all backwards now. But there's some good, like there's some super rares. There's a bunch of rares in this. Like, I mean, they're not like monetary wise, but like there's some solid like little things you can get here. Like you can build a pretty decent starter deck out of these. Yeah, no, this is I'm impressed. I am impressed.